A girl came down the stairs slowly. She stood in front of the door of her house. She took out the key from the purse and opened the door. She blankly looking it down the floor. She saw familiar scene which she is not sure if she saw it in a movie or a dream. She heard noises coming out from the bedroom. She walked through the living room and quietly stand in front of the door. She saw a horror view of her husband sleeping with another woman. She wake up from her dream. She has been having this dream quite frequently. She brushed off her thought and went back to work. Her boss called out her and handed her the envelope. She thanked her boss for the advance payment. The boss was worried about her. He sighed and said nothing more. While she is working, she saw a couple being lovey-dovey. She is really envious that they are young and full of love, because she is thinking that she passes her prime and no longer beautiful. After work, her colleague is complaining that someone called her auntie. She grab her face and say that she is still very beautiful. After work, she walked back to her home. What awaited for her at home is her husband. As soon as Haiwan got home, he complained about her look. She said nothing but preparing dinner for him. He told Haiwan for not wearing makeup and try to look pretty. At that time, she thought to herself that it is because of loving him she has lost her light. The next morning, she went to her morning part-time job. While she was arranging flour, she was lost in thought. Years ago, her husband kneeled and apologized her. He took out loans and lost all of it. To make things worse, he took out loan under her name. She forgive him and thought they will work again and pay off. When she think about it, she always wanted to cry and give up. Her thought were cut off when a customer came in. A tall young man walked into the floral shop. Haiwan College whispered her that he is the regular customer. She walked energetically to the counter to take the order. She asked him what he would like to have. He said nothing and stand there. He looked to the side where Haiwan is standing. He extend his hand and knock on the counter. She looked him up as soon as she heard the knock. He request her to take his order. She thought he is a weirdo. He stand tall and looking at her with a warm smile. She asked him, "You will get the usual, right?" He is smiling widely and happy that she remembered him. She went to the flower section to make the rose flower bouquet. She intermittently looked behind her. A handsome young man is sitting comfortably on the waiting chair. After she finished, he walked up to her. She handed the rose flower bouquet to him. He looked at her with affection eye while holding the flower. Haiwan colleague was fascinated. The girl suddenly get a thought. He might be interested in you, sister. Haiwan denied it. But the handsome young boy was happily holding the flower bouquet. On the other hand, Haiwan explained to her colleague that she has a man. Her colleague was surprised to hear that. She got into her usual routine, which is to prepare breakfast and to go for work. The next morning, she greeted her colleague at the floral shop. Same as yesterday, the young man came again. While she was handing him the recipe, her tummy sound from hunger. She was a little shy and hoping he didn't hear that. Then, the young man texted coffee and sandwich on the phone to someone. He is smiling looking at the phone. A while later, he got out of the shop and talking with someone. The guy handed the young man a coffee and a sandwich box. Haiwan also finished preparing the bouquet. He took the flower and leave, but the box was left alone on the counter. Haiwan thought he forgot and follow after him to give it back. He looked back at her softly. He told that it was for her. She then grabbed onto his jacket. He asked if she also want to have a coffee. He only take a sip and said it is not poisoned. He handed her the coffee, which make Haiwan confused. When she get back in, her colleague also seemed to be surprised. Haiwan is spacing out looking at the food. She looked herself in the mirror and thought, did she really look pretty? Her colleague encouraged her, but Haiwan said she has a husband. But in reality, they were slip up over debt but still living together. Her husband tell her to call her husband only at home. Her husband got a permanent position not long ago. The young girl at work is giving him a coffee. There was a sticky note on the cup which is showing that she is interested in him. While having the break time, other men at work were also telling him to go for it. She is still young and you are also single, right? He answered with a big smile, I'm single. But at home, Haiwan is the one to manage the debt and finance of the household. She works so hard for the debt she didn't spend. The young man was standing in the dark back alley. He is telling his friend to call some other friends to gather. His friend find his behavior strange because he had never gone to a cheap restaurant. When they arrived, they went into the pork belly shop. Helen was cleaning the table. When she heard the customer coming in, she went to the door to welcome them. She saw the young man from the floral shop. She was really surprised to meet him again. She felt awkward and just looking at them. The girl from the group said they are 4 people. Just right then her sense came back. She prepared the table for them. She is serving and preparing for the another table. The young man was looking at her working. His friends were talking at first, but their conversation get a little bit mixed with foul words. The young man touched his friend's leg, and his friend stopped arguing. The girl beside him asked if he knows the lady working here. He smiled and said they know each other. She felt weird to hear that. At home, Hisu was doing the laundry. She found one of her clothes has ripped off. Mincheol grabbed the ripped cloth from her hand. He looked at it and said it is pathetic. He commented with men don't like women who are pitiful. In the morning she prepared breakfast as usual. She opened the cupboard to take the umbrella. She took the one which has hole and broken. She left the good one for Mincheol. At work, while Mincheol was making coffee, a young girl approached. Then she suddenly grabbed on his hand with fear, saying she saw a bug. She purposely hold on to his arm. Mincheol feel excited by the new feeling which he doesn't get with Hewin. At the floral shop, Hewin is chit-chatting with her colleague. When they are talking, the young man walked to the shop. As soon as Hewin sees him, she hurriedly gets up. He saw Hewin walking to the back of the shop. He just looked at her and ordered the usual. It is raining heavily outside when they finished working. She opened her broken umbrella but it was torn to pieces. She is looking at the pouring rain. When she was using her phone, an umbrella was covered above her head. She looked up and it is him. He offered to take her home. She refused and said it is okay. Since it is going to rain until dawn, he told her to accept it. They stands together on the platform. She felt a little bit awkward to just walking with him alone. She noticed that he is walking slowly by matching the pace for her. She thought about Mincheol who has never done that before. Hewin said his girlfriend would get angry if she knows it. He answered softly that he doesn't have a girlfriend. He whispered, "Please believe in me." Suddenly, a speedy car arrived from behind them. He grabbed by her shoulder quickly. He covered her with his body from getting water to Hewin. She was standing nearly between his arms. His tall and big build has covered her from getting splashed by water. On the way, Hewin also noticed that his shoulder was wet. She was fully covered by the umbrella. They slowly walked together and almost arrived at her house. He asked Hewin if he can be friend with her. Hewin firmly said no and just to stay as a stranger. He replied yes obediently. When she entered the house, she saw the umbrella was left in the entrance. She took it and prepared to go. She is waiting in front of Mincheol's office. She tried to call him but the phone was off. After a while, she saw Mincheol coming out with a young girl. She was stunned and looking at them blankly. The young girl is telling that it is creepy that the woman is staring at them. Mincheol tell her that she is a relative. He is really annoyed to see her. Hewin looked at the girl and asked who she is. He told her that she is a colleague and not to embarrass him again. At that moment, she felt a little bit regrettable that she let go of the opportunity.